life and degradation and climate change are top of mind. Today on the eyeball show, we are talking Tika in the Gambia. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ali.
Nice to be here, Mr. Osman. Thank you for inviting me.
Very good. So we will be breaking down and bring you the insights. What agenda, Mr. Ali?
Yeah, with the new year, 2026, we have planned a lot of projects, including the area of land degradation and climate in the Gambia. As you remember, we have realized some projects last year, and TICA has been quite active in this area. And let me give you more information. We work on both environmental projects and building institutional capacity. And we conducted a specialized training program together with the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources last year, at the end of last year. It was a couple of months ago, actually. It focused on land degradation, integrated natural resource planning, and climate resilience. And we trained almost 50 government officials through that program. And beyond that training, we have also been supporting ecosystem-based work at Bijilo Nature Park. People call it as monkey park, but actually it's a nature park. For instance, we provide water access infrastructure to support wildlife and biodiversity. And there's more coming. We are currently working on zero waste initiatives. In the coming weeks, we'll be helping the University of the Gambia strengthen its waste management capacity, and we'll also be setting up waste management points at Bijilo Nature Park. So really, our approach is about combining environmental restoration with technical knowledge transfer and long-term resilience. It's not just one thing, it's a package, it's a whole package.
Very good. Very good. Want to join the conversation? You can call us on 7525 555 7525 555. Let's get talking. So, Mr. Ali, let's just get into the program proper. And my first question will be: what specific initiative has TICA undertaken to address land degradation and climate challenges in the Gambia?
Yeah, thank you for that question. It wasn't quite a lot of time since I began working for TICA the Gambia office. It was last year June, and since then I observed the Gambia as a wonderful country. Like it's like a paradise. We have to protect the negative effects of the climate issues. And we have to protect the land, the environment of the Gambia against those problems. That's why I immediately started working on it. And after a while, I realized some projects, as I said before, like the training program against the land degradation with the Ministry of Environment. But in addition to that, now we are working in the waste management area of the same issue. And we are going to realize 3 different projects actually in this month, I guess, according to our plans. We are going to realize one project for Monkey Park, one project for the University of the Gambia, and we would like to organize trainings for the schools, for the students, and I hope, inshallah, it will be the first will be in Gunjur High School. Then we are planning to continue that in the Turkish Marif schools here in Banjul, and more projects are coming in the near future, inshallah.
Very good. And how do you measure the impact of TICA's environmental projects on local communities?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. We look at impact on three levels. The first is direct outputs and how many people were trained, what infrastructure was delivered, and which institutions were supported. That's the most straightforward port. The second level is what I call functional outcomes. For example, are the officials we trained now better able to plan for and respond to land degradation and climate pressures? Has a conservation site improved in terms of conditions for both wildlife and visitors? Those are the questions we check. And then the third level, which is really the most important, is community level impact. That means looking at things like whether livelihoods connected to ecotourism are getting stronger, whether environmental awareness is growing, and whether local natural resources are being better protected. In projects like Bijilo, the monkey park, for example, we also look at the contribution to wildlife protection and tourism revenues as part of our impact assessment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that answers the question. Let's come to health now. On the health, how does the medical oxygen generation plan at Ndemban Hospital improve healthcare service in the Gambia?
Yeah. This project is a project we are really proud of, and the medical oxygen generation plant at Ndemban Hospital has made a difference by providing real, more reliable and stable oxygen. It was actually the first plant of its kind in Gambian hospitals, the government-owned hospitals, and it has a daily production capacity of 100. Now, what does that mean in practice? It means the hospital no longer has to depend as heavily on expensive external procurement. The hospital doesn't require to get those from other companies, in short. It means better capacity to handle emergencies. Patient access, that's what it comes down to, a stronger, more responsive health system. This is our contribution about that.
Very good. Vocational training centers like Kanilai contribute to youth empowerment in the Gambia?
This Kanilai project was realized by my predecessor, and this is a wonderful project, one of the wonderful projects we realized so far. And this is something very close to our hearts. Our support for centers like Kanilai is all about helping young people gain practical and market relevant skills. In Kanilai specifically, we provided tools and equipment for welding and tailoring workshop to strengthen the skills of the youth enrolled there. And what's really significant is that this center had previously been inactive. So the project actually helped bring it back to life. This kind of support matters because it creates real pathways to self-employment, to better employability, and to earning and income, especially for young people in rural areas. And I should mention, Kanilai is not the only example. Just a few months ago, we opened a major vocational training center at Mile 2 prison. It's inside the prison. We have supported the Rural Development Institute in Soma. We set up a pastry workshop at the Hospitality Institute in Banjul, and provide support for the welding workshop at the USAT campus. All of this shows that TICA sees vocational and technical education as a key investment in human capital and social inclusion. And still, those are on my agenda, and we are still working on those areas, especially the vocational trainings.
Very good, very good. And what's next step for TICA strengthening the Gambia's healthcare system?
Yeah, and of course, we work a lot about strengthening the healthcare system. And actually, we started many years ago. We started working on the developing the emergency capacity in the Gambia. Then now, actually, I'm working on the pediatric services in the Gambia, and those are really important about the capacity of the Gambia's healthcare system. And I would like to mention another capacity development projects we realized last year. It was the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Rehab Unit. It's really important for the Gambia because Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Rehab Unit is a successful center. And the people, the personnel there, they are working tirelessly with a big effort. The renovation of the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Rehab Unit is a project that really reflects our holistic approach. What we did was improve the physical environment where rehabilitation takes place, the exact place where the people are rehabilitated. That included roof and ceiling replacement and painting inside and out, creating a vegetable garden, building a football field for activities, and providing tools and equipment for various hobby and occupational areas. Things like tailoring, batik making, arts, and board games. And this matters because mental health care is not limited to medical treatment alone. You also need a safe, therapeutic, and human-centered environment for rehabilitation to be effective. We are trying to be in every part of all the areas of the healthcare system, and especially we are including the psychiatric rehab units as well.
Okay, okay. And are there plans to expand vocational training programs to other areas or communities? Let's take North Bank, for example, because we've seen that majority of your intervention areas are within the GBA, which is the Greater Banjul area. And let's say around, Kanilai and the likes, but you go to the North Bank, you are yet to touch, on those areas. Are there plans to get to North Bank or even URR Base and the likes?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Mr. Osman, because with this question, I need to explain one thing about TICA, what makes us different than the others. TICA is not like the other organizations. We don't force anyone to do anything. We work request-based. In other words, we are waiting for the requests from the legal entities. We support government organizations, universities, big NGOs with a good reputation, of course. As you know very well, we cannot support individuals because TICA is a development aid organization. And that's why when you see TICA is organizing or realizing a project, it means that TICA, the Gambia office, received a request letter from the other party, from the beneficiaries. In other words, we don't impose anything, any kind of project or anything in return of our projects. We are waiting always, we are waiting for the requests, and we don't realize what we want. We always realize what the other party wants. Our in one country, and I was starting to name the needs on my head, and I remember very well. I made a mistake, and I told myself, "Oh, they need this, they need that, they need this, they need that." But it was my own perspective. This is wrong. We shouldn't use our own perspective because this is the Gambia. The Gambian know best about their own needs. That's why we don't impose any projects, and we are waiting for the project proposals, project requests, and cooperations from other regions as well. For example, I mentioned the Mile 2 prison. This was a request from the Mile 2 prison, and it was my first month here, last year, June, I guess. We were invited by the governor of LRR region. And we visited him, and honorable governor shared the needs. And I am happy we realized one of the projects he proposed. This is how we work. In other words, if we have any projects in the North Bank, it means that we don't have any request letters from the North Bank. In other words, this is an announcement to the legal entities. We are waiting for you. We are waiting for your project proposals. But I would like to add one thing.
There are my people. I'm from the North Bank. Do you know? So I'll ask them to send you proposals.
Definitely, we are waiting. And my focus is the places of the outside of the Banjul. I don't want to focus on only the Banjul and surrounding area. No. Lastly, it wasn't long ago, a couple of weeks ago, I checked more than 20 villages in Jiboro ward.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. And I'm not just sitting in my office.
I know.
We are active. And my goal is going all the way to Basse. Because I visited Janjanbureh, and I visited the governor there, of course, with my ambassador. And I would like to go all the way to Basse. Inshallah, my goal is realizing more projects in rural areas, in distant areas, and including the North Bank as well. I'm eager to work there. I would like to add one thing. Vocational training is not limited only by the welding workshops or tailoring. Actually, we are working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs nowadays to open the first academy. It will be a diplomacy academy. Inshallah, India. Work on that in a short period of time. And this is also a vocational training. Of course, in a different area, in a specific area. But trainings, in general, education is my personal priority. If the request letters matches with my personal priorities, I'll be more happy. And if I can do anything for the Gambia, I will be the happiest person in the Gambia.
Okay, very good. And how do you feel upon supporting the project at Mile 2, and then later, came to realize or heard that, some person, had been sold, or that the prison department or a chunk of it has to transfer to a certain location? How do you feel upon receiving that information?
Yeah, that's another good question. Thank you for that. Estica, since we are a development agency, we focus on the sustainable projects. What makes a project sustainable is a good question, and the main issue is the land and the building. That's why we focus on the request letters coming from the legal entities. We focus on the projects where there is already a land present, or the legal entity or government, and the building is already owned by the government or the legal entity. And this is something we are careful about. When I first get the news from from the press, that right after 1 week we delivered all the equipment to the Malta prison. 1 week later, we realized that the building has been sold. Of course, I felt bad. I must be honest about that. But I know two things. First, we can start immediately training the people with the current building and the current equipment we donated. This is the good aspect of the problem. And the second thing is they need another prison complex to move the prison with the entire crew and the people and the vocational training center. And I know that it takes time. That's why now I'm trying to focus on the benefit. Now it's working. They already started educating people with the training center we provided. And now it's beneficial for the inmates. And second, of course, we will support them to move the Tibet Center in the future. But I know it takes time. But I'm expecting the officials to inform us in advance. If I had known this, maybe we would have helped them in this sense as well. But things happen, and now we should focus on the benefit of the inmates. And we are still working on what we can do more for the inmates. As I said, I felt bad, but it took a short period of time. Now I feel good about that.
Okay. We'll do mental health, but before we'll do, let me ask your relations or interaction with the media. You know, we've seen you are sponsoring projects here and there, but we've been seeing the inclusion of the media, or I wouldn't know. And the media as the fourth estate, you know, is very vital to exposing, or let's say bringing on the table regarding the work that you are doing. What's your relationship with the media in terms of these projects implementation?
Actually, I must say that and underline and emphasize one thing about the media in the Gambia. I have worked in many different countries. I worked in Guatemala, Costa Rica, Mexico, Colombia, or I worked in Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, or Philippines. And I served as the country coordinator of Ethiopia for more than 3 years, almost 4 years. And I must say that the journalists, the press members here in the Gambia is the most friendly people I have ever encountered. And
congratulations to us then.
Yeah, it makes me comfortable when I talk to a press member, a journalist, a correspondent, even with the cameraman, and I feel comfortable and I find myself immediately in a comfortable and friendly conversation. That makes me comfortable, and this is really important for success of the press here in the Gambia. My father was a journalist as well. That's why I know that from my heart. And if you make the other party feel comfortable, then you can get all the news you need. And this is the key for the journalists I know. And that's why I'm really happy. And that's why I would like to include more and more organizations, press organizations, the newspapers and TV channels, radio channels, and all. I would like to include them all to for the trainings, both realized in Turkey and both we organize the training programs on site in the Gambia. We make announcements every year, and this year maybe the same announcement to the press and media organizations. we received some positive response, including the Vibes FM and GRTS, for example. Those are good examples. And we are waiting.
Our very own Vibes FM.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and we are waiting for the positive responses of Turkey, because as you know that TİKA has 62 offices around the world. And we have activities in more than 140 different countries every year. And that's why it takes time to organize the, especially the training programs, because we have limited trainers, of course. We don't have thousands and thousands of trainers. And we are trying to allocate their energies and their schedule wisely. And inshallah, we will get positive responses from Turkey about our media press projects in the future. And we will let you know, and we will announce those. People can follow our page, TİKA The Gambia office page on Facebook and Twitter. And you can follow me personally on LinkedIn and Instagram as well.
Very good, very good. Now on the mental health, let me ask, how does TİKA's renovation of the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Rehabs Unit support mental health services in the Gambia?
Yeah, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, it was a holistic approach about the project. I would like to underline one thing. When we realize one project, we try to include all different parts of the project. If a project proposal comes from a hospital, let's say, we are trying to support in different areas in the hospital as well. Let's say this is a pediatric unit, like we realized in Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and that hospital is a good partner for us. We supported many times the hospital and hospital's infrastructure and capacity, but we are trying to support in different areas of the hospital as well. Sometimes they request about 2 or 3 different areas, and we are trying to include them all. And we did the same for the Tanka Tanka as well. We supported their infrastructure about the medical equipment, but we didn't forget the children. We didn't forget the playground. Maybe from a perspective, those different things might be irrelevant between. But actually, we are trying to think about all different aspects of any institution. And this is what we did for Tanka Tanka as well.
Okay, very good, very good. And what's the significance of vocational therapy in the rehabs process or processes?
Yeah, it's hugely significant. You see, rehabilitation isn't only about managing symptoms. It's also about restoring a person's confidence and their daily routine, their social functioning, and really their sense of purpose. Activities like tailoring, arts, gardening, these structured tasks help patients rebuild skills, improve their concentration, and strengthen their self-worth. So in that sense, vocational therapy acts as a bridge between treatment and reintegration into daily life. And at TİKA, we really value this holistic understanding and recovery.
Very good. Very good. So the other question reads, how does TİKA support for Bijilo Nature Park contributes to conversations efforts in the Gambia?
Yeah, people call it monkey park. Sometimes we call it monkey park as well. But
exactly,
it's more than monkeys. Actually, I visited the Bijilo Nature Park many times. Our support for Bijilo Nature Park contributes directly to conservation by addressing both ecological needs and environmental management. Through this project, we supported water drilling, build 3 water pools for animals. Actually, it might be more than 3. As far as I remember, it must be more than 3. And set up a hand washing station for visitors. What this means is that during the long dry season, especially during the long dry season, monkeys, birds, and other wildlife can access water, which is critical for their survival. At the same time, we are improving the visitor experience and supporting the park's ecological sustainability, sustainability. And there is another element to this. Under our zero waste approach, we will also be establishing waste management points in the park to help keep it clean and promote more sustainable use of the area. So it really brings together biodiversity protection and practical conservation management and environmental awareness. Those are really critical, especially for the monkeys, for the wildlife, for the tourists, and for the tourism revenues of the Gambia as well.
Very good. Can you share examples of community involvement in ecotourism projects?
Yeah, and let me think. Community involvement in ecotourism can make many forms. If we look at Bijilo Nature Park, for example, strong conservation measures and better visitor infrastructure can directly support tourism activity. And that means more local income opportunities for the communities nearby. But more broadly, what we have seen is that ecotourism projects communities and environmental stakeholders. At TICA, we really value this shared ownership approach because the truth is conservation becomes much stronger and more sustainable when communities see real social and economic value in protecting their natural assets. This is a wealth belongs to all the Gambian people, and actually to the it's a wealth belongs to the world. We must protect it together, all together. And I guess this is all I would like to mention about this ecotourism.
Okay, so still on ecotourism, the other question reads, what's the economic impact of ecotourism on local communities in the Gambia?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. This is really important, not in the Gambia. This is important when you need the revenue and revenue by tourism. As you know that I am from Turkey, and we welcome a lot of tourists every year. And this is the same issue we are trying to improve ourselves. And this is the same issue we need to improve the same thing hand by hand with the people of the Gambia. We are trying to support the projects about protecting environment and producing resilience against the climate change. And we are trying to support the income generating projects about tourism for the people of the Gambia. Because Gambia is a wonderful country. The nature of the Gambia is wonderful. And I'm really happy I live here with my lovely wife in the Gambia. And these days, Turkey is cold, and I don't want to go and visit my own country. And that's why now I understand the other people who would like to visit the Gambia more often. And in other words, we must use this capacity, nurture the ability of the Gambia and the Gambian touristic areas, especially attraction points. If we support them, if we support the area of the touristic areas of the Gambia, for example, the Crocodile Park, the Bijilo Nature Park, as we call it, as Monkey Park, and other places in rural areas as well. I have seen wonderful places in Soma, for example. Other wonderful places in Janjanbureh. It's like a paradise, and the Gambia is a lucky country. You have a green and a wonderful country starting from the Banjul to all the way to the Basse, and that's why if we support the tourism capacity of the Gambia, it means that the people of the Gambia will be supported in development areas. And that's why we are keen and we are ready to support those areas. And it's surprising, TICA is affiliated to Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Of course, our activities is not limited with the ministry's areas, but we are affiliated, since we are affiliated to Ministry of Culture and Tourism in Turkey, it means that we have a good capacity about the culture and tourism, and we are open to discuss all kinds of development projects.
Yeah, you know, people call it Bijilo Monkey Park, but I prefer calling it Bijilo Nature or Natural Park, because it's not only monkeys living within the vicinity.
There are many birds.
Nature,
there are many birds
but
there.
Even trees. Yeah, that's nature.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why we are trying to correct my friends and my colleagues in the TICA office. We are trying to correct ourselves to call it as nature park. We shouldn't limit that park only to monkeys. That's not correct. I agree with you.
And how does TICA promote sustainable tourism practice in the Gambia?
And
perhaps this might be my last question.
Yeah. Frankly, as I said before, be request-based, demand-driven. I personally have many things in my mind because I worked in different countries. I worked in Djibouti, South Sudan, Ethiopia, South Africa, and now in the Gambia. And I have many ideas. But as I said before, we work demand-driven, and we are waiting for the requests from, especially from the ministries, because our first goal is supporting the government organizations, legal entities, in short. And I have many ideas, but I would like to realize what the Ministry of Culture or Ministry of Tourism in our countries wants to see on the field. I would like to pass this question until I get good project proposals from the ministry, because as I said, we don't have any priorities. The government's priorities are our priorities. We don't emphasize or put forward our own priorities. I may have some ideas, but those are not important. The government of Gambia is a strong government, and the people of the Gambia are really capable. And I'm waiting for their ideas. I'm waiting for their needs to come, and I'm ready to discuss those. After I get good project proposals from the ministry, then I can inform you about those projects as well, and then I can share my opinion as well. But I'm waiting for the project proposals, and inshallah we will get more.
No worries. Then we will have you invited here again to discuss on them. And last question is, are there plans to develop or support other conservation areas in the Gambia? Let's say conservative or conservation areas rather in the Gambia.
Yeah, we had some project proposals, some requests, as I said, from the Bijilo Nature Park. Actually, I contacted with the other parks and other areas, and with the Ministry of Environment as well. We have some projects on the table, but we are still waiting for the project proposals. I mentioned about the projects we realized in nature park in
Vigilo.
yeah, and we are working on it. We are going to realize those waste management projects, and we are still supporting the water source of the animals in the park as well. This is something I mention a lot because the project is approved by the headquarters in Tika. I'm waiting for other conservation areas to visit us, to share their opinions about the development cooperation projects. And our office is in Senegambia. Let's say this is an announcement for that. This is a call to them. And we are ready to accept their project proposals. We are ready to discuss those. I'm eager to protect the wonderful nature of the Gambia. Inshallah, we will do more. But now, in this 6 months, we are realizing projects for the, we are focusing on the waste management projects to preserve the conservation areas. And I'm waiting more, inshallah, in the future.
If you have anything to add on to, you may proceed, but if not, then you can have your final remarks.
I'm really happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me here. As I said, I love the Gambia. This is a wonderful country, and that's why I live here with my wife. I called immediately, called her to join me, and this is the first time for me, and I'm proud. I share the good people of the Gambia with my colleagues in Turkey. I share the good nature of the Gambia here, and inshallah, I would like to work more for the Gambia because my duty is working for the Gambia. When I return to Turkey, the question I will get is, what did you do for the Gambia? That's why I'm happy if I can do anything, and I'm waiting for the from all the legal entities. We cannot support individuals. We cannot support persons. We support legal entities, and I'm waiting for the project proposals, inshallah. Thank you for inviting me.
Is that your final word?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very
listeners,
much.
we'll draw the curtain here until next week, Wednesday, the same time, the same frequency. I am your host, Usman M. Marong. Then we'll say bye till next week. Thank you.
برسولهم ليأخذوه